Tonight, mall parking lot stabbing. A victim is seriously hurt. Shelter-in-place alert at Mount Royal University.
Officers, they kept us safe.
A weapons scare is resolved, but the school faces criticism on how it was handled. And where do we go from here? More feedback for City Council as they consider a new housing policy.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Sean Frenet.
Good evening. CrossIron Mills was the scene of a serious assault tonight, and RCMP responded with a heavy presence. Mounties and EMS rushed to the mall just north of Calgary for a report of an assault with a weapon in the parking lot. Police say one person was stabbed, and they believe the incident was targeted. The suspects fled the scene, and there was no word on any arrests. Police taped off an area around two vehicles. One car had its door open with a cloth that may have blood on it on the ground. Police asked the public to avoid the parking lot by the Toys R Us entrance near entrance 4 on the northeast side of the mall. The incident did not affect shoppers in the mall, which remained open this evening. There were anxious moments and confusion at Mount Royal University late this afternoon. Police issued a shelter-in-place order until they determined that a potential threat did not exist, but charges could be laid. Police, some armed with non-lethal weapons, responded in force at about 2:45 after a report of a man armed with a knife. They advised everyone on campus and in surrounding neighborhoods to stay put. About 30 to 40 officers contained the school and ensured no one went inside. Just before 5 p.m., they lifted the order. Police say the man was a staff member working as a chef, and there was no danger to anyone. But the investigation continues.
Charges may be laid. We appreciate the cooperation of Mount Royal University, its staff, its students, and members of the public while this situation was being resolved. Potential charges in this case would be public mischief as well as weapon dangers.
Police say they only had a vague description of the man at first, and it took time to check security video and ensure everything was safe. Police say there is no ability to lock all of the doors of MRU in a case like this. Students say they were unsettled by all the commotion on the last day of regular classes.
We were coming back to school to start studying for finals, because as you know, it's final season. And then we came here, we parked here, and then we saw the officers leaving, going towards the library with weapons in hand. And then we stayed around watching what happened, and then the officers, they kept us safe.
It was handled very well. I think we really appreciate MRU's security team working well with Calgary Police Service on making sure the incident is resolved as quickly and as smoothly as possible. The concerns that I have for students is just maybe the distress that they are going under right now aftermath of the incident. We ask students that if they are facing any interruptions or any impact to their studies, that they should reach out to the Students Association, reach out to your professors, let them know that you're impacted.
MRU sent an email to all students and staff about the same time police issued the shelter-in-place order, which was over an hour after the initial police response. The email contained a description of the man. The university says it also sent an alert through its MRU Now safety app. But some faculty say they did not receive the alerts, and they are concerned over the delay in getting information out.
I'm greatly disappointed in the university. As I said, we have this alert system. We get an alert when it's snowing outside. We get an alert when there's a protest group on site, and yet we don't get an alert when there is an armed intruder on campus.
Bratt says the response needs to be addressed by university administration. Police say a person is in life-threatening condition after being run over in the Beltline. Police say the victim was lying on the road on 16th Avenue Southwest when it happened just before 9 last night. The driver didn't see the person and called police immediately. There's no word yet on what led to the collision. A car collided with a C train downtown this morning. The car slid sideways and had heavy front end damage. The side of a C train car was also damaged. There were no injuries among anyone in the car or on the train. Police are investigating a shooting in northeast Calgary. It happened early yesterday morning in a parking lot at Ace Casino. Police say the suspects were gone when they got there, and they believe it was a targeted shooting. The victim was driven to Peter Lougheed Hospital. An Ontario man has pleaded guilty after an immigration investigation into Banff area hotels. Kevin Keelty pleaded guilty to 2 counts of unauthorized employment of foreign nationals. He's been fined $70,000. He is now on 2 years probation and must serve 50 hours of community service. Police say a group of foreign nationals traveled from Ontario to Alberta to work illegally in Banff. The work was coordinated by an employment agency called One Team. Investigators also identified an additional 90 foreign nationals from Mexico working illegally in 4 resort hotels in the Banff and Jasper area. In 2023, Keelty also pleaded guilty to employment-related offences in Ontario. Meteorologist Danielle Savonis here with our first look at the weather. And Danielle, we're getting a mix of everything this week.
Yeah, and you know, the trend for last month and this month has basically been every 3 days we get a punch of snow. We're still on that trend. So even though today was very spring-like and we had lots of sunshine, warm temperatures, even some thunderstorm activity, we're going to be back to the daytime high below freezing and wet snow by the middle of this week. So enjoy tomorrow while it's here. 13 degrees will be our daytime high. We'll see more cloud cover out there tomorrow in comparison to today. A little windier with gusts around 50 kilometers per hour by the afternoon hours. I'll be back to talk more about that wet snow coming up.
Okay, thanks very much, Danielle. The province introduced new healthcare legislation today to finalize the transition from Alberta Health and allow more access to some medications in rural and remote pharmacies. Bill 29 is also the first step in giving Albertans the power to order medical testing by paying private clinics. As Alicia Fieldberg reports, some people may get reimbursed, but the province is still working out the details.
Albertans may soon be able to access more tests, such as MRIs, body scans, or blood work at private clinics. New legislation lays the groundwork to allow people to get the diagnostic tests they want without a doctor's referral.
It creates the legal framework for an additional optional pathway, one that supports earlier detection, faster access, and more choice.
Options which may reduce wait times for those willing to pay for tests themselves or through private health insurance. In some cases, the province would repay people who covered the costs themselves. The moves were announced last year, but residents will have to wait until this fall for more details about which tests would be eligible for reimbursement.
We are going to determine and lay out the definition of if you were to find something that is life-altering.
You can already pay to jump the line for some tests in Alberta, but you need a referral. The organization representing Alberta doctors says removing that could lead to unnecessary testing and further strain on healthcare.
The likelihood of finding any abnormality is actually quite high, but the likelihood of that abnormality being of any clinical significance is actually very low. And we, certainly recognize that patients want to know if they're going to have a disease early on, but we also know that there's many more findings that are of no clinical significance that again lead to anxiety, further workup, and further costs.
Alberta's health minister says medical tests referred by doctors will still be funded and prioritized. But wait lists for public diagnostics in Alberta remain long, some taking months, even years. Some worry these changes won't help everyone.
It's not improving things for everybody. It's improving some for those who have money, but everybody else has to wait. And we're really concerned that the type of moves that Danielle Smith and her government are making is creating like a kind of rotten apple effect that our entire healthcare system may start to unravel.
Alicia Fieldberg, CTV News, Calgary.
The government expects it will have regulations ready in the fall to explain which tests people can order without doctors' referrals. A majority of Alberta physicians have concerns about the province's proposed changes to medical assistance in dying. Alberta's government has introduced Bill 18 to limit MAID to those likely to die of natural causes within a year. Over 70% of doctors surveyed by the Alberta Medical Association view the 12-month timeline as inappropriate and misaligned with their ability to accurately predict timelines for a disease's natural progression. Over half are concerned about provisions prohibiting doctors from initiating a conversation about MAID with patients. The province continues to report more measles cases. There were 12 new cases over the weekend, including 6 in the South Zone. Only 1 case is considered active. 1 person is in hospital. 279 measles cases have been reported so far this year. More than 90% of those have involved unvaccinated patients. Calgary has scrapped blanket rezoning, but what's next? Several groups gathered at City Hall this morning to urge council to move quickly on a new plan. But Calgary's mayor says it'll take time to get a housing policy right. Jordan Canagan reports.
A years-long battle over blanket rezoning may be over, but work on its replacement is just getting started.
6 months of silence is not a strategy. It's not leadership. We need a timeline, we need a compromise, and we need it now.
Council voted to get rid of the blanket policy last week. New zoning rules are still many months away.
We're going to be taking a look at the municipal development plan. Once we get that done, we can move on to finalizing the updated zoning bylaw. That's likely the place where you're going to see more of these changes occurring, which means we basically have about 12 months to 18 months.
The mayor says they're committed to a new plan to deliver on more types of affordable housing, such as townhomes and row homes, but they're not going to rush it.
And for us as a council, we're stepping up to the plate with a local area plan process, as well as much greater land and capital being made for those not-for-profit providers to be able to deliver housing that is actually affordable rather than just, say, at that $1 million price point for developers.
Advocates say a lack of affordable housing is the biggest issue they're facing. Students are searching for that supply and having trouble finding it.
Students are couch surfing, they're living in unsafe conditions, they're packing into accommodations. We see it all the time. It's happening truly because rent is out of their budget.
Jordan Canagan, CTV News, Calgary.
Part of council's work will be to explore more local area plans. Those are policies to guide development, and they establish different rules for different areas. Creating new ones takes about 3 years. Construction began today on a new residential tower in the East Village. It will be a 14-story mixed-use tower called Vibe. There will be more than 200 rental units. It's the second of 5 developments in the neighborhood set to begin this year. The building is expected to open in early 2028. We love it and we hate it. That's what a new study found about our relationship with social media. Reaction from Calgary students coming up.
You're watching CTV News, Calgary.
Calgary's efforts to repair the Bears Paw water feeder main have hit another snag. The city says the robotic pipe diver that was sent in to inspect the feeder main stopped moving. Workers tried to get it going again, but those efforts failed. Now, crews will try to retrieve it this week. The city says this won't affect the water supply, and it will look at other ways to inspect the pipe. A new survey shows Albertans are experiencing financial whiplash as volatile economic conditions disrupt long-term planning and stretch household budgets. The report by accounting firm MNP shows there is a collective confidence nationally about managing debt, but many are struggling to pay monthly bills. Tyson Fedor reports.
A new consumer price debt index found that 59% of Albertans feel their financial plans are being derailed by global uncertainty.
We're at an age where we're kind of ahead, so we're okay. But yeah, there's probably some things we wouldn't bother.
MNP's latest quarterly report surveyed 2,000 Canadians over 2 days last month. It found a quarter do not earn enough to cover their bills and current debt.
We're looking at about 42% of Albertans within $200 of not being able to meet their financial obligations.
One debt expert says many are facing the pinch financially and pushed to make decisions on what is more important for their families.
There's 2 sides to an equation when it comes to debt, right? You can either bump up your income and or drop your expenses. When we're feeling money stress, we feel stupid, and worse, we go into, embarrassment and shame.
The report also finds that more than 3/4 of Albertans are feeling the strain of high groceries and gas prices, while the majority of people are cautious about taking on more debt.
We didn't expect to see a whole lot of change in the 2026 year. Whether or not all of the changes that are happening in the economy right now are going to change in such a manner that it gets better, I guess, is yet to be seen.
And for some Calgarians, they are having to make financial cuts in real time while out shopping for groceries.
Like right now, I just spend about half an hour trying to check my account, move money left and right so that I can be able to afford but I have to remove some of the stuff and leave behind because the money that I budgeted to buy what I wanted to buy, I didn't have enough.
Tyson Fedor, CTV News, Calgary.
The survey's margin of error is plus or minus 2.7 percentage points, 19 times out of 20. A new poll shows Canadians might not be happy with some social media apps, but they're still using them. The Angus Reid poll found at least half of respondents use apps like Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook multiple times a week, but a majority also found social media was negatively affecting them. The most favorable apps were YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook, while people were most negative about X, TikTok, and Snapchat. Some university students tell us they couldn't cut social media entirely.
In our current generation, everything's like technology now. Everything that we do goes around social media.
It is like addictive, I guess, especially like during exam season when you're just like want to get your mind off of things and exams, you just go through Instagram and scroll and everything.
As for why people stay on the apps, people say it helps them stay connected with family and friends, find entertainment, and access news. The top drawbacks include misinformation, addiction, and mental health issues. Danielle Savoni will be back here in a moment with her full Skywatch forecast as we take a look outside this evening. Stay with us.
Well, today was that quintessential spring day. We had the warmth, we had the sunshine, the winds were calm, and then we had late-day thunderstorm activity. I'll show you that on the radar in just a second. Today, these were the daytime highs. 14 for Calgary. Normal daytime high for this time of year is 11 in the city, so we were above normal. And look at that, Lethbridge, Medicine Hat, Milk River got up to 17. There's a look at that thunderstorm earlier today that caught the south edge of Calgary, closer to Okotoks as well, tracked off to the east. There was some lightning with this, there was a decent downpour with this, and also some reports of some pea-sized hail. So a lot of this activity has all died out for now, but closer to the Saskatchewan border, right up until, as you can see by your timestamp here, there is that potential for some isolated shower activity. After about 12:30, it works its way out, and then things are pretty quiet for tomorrow. So tomorrow we're looking at a lot of sun towards the east, but in Calgary, it will be a mix of sun and clouds. So it won't be as bright as what we had today. Temperatures will still be pretty close, and it doesn't look like we'll have any sort of late-day thunderstorm activity. When we're looking at active weather, that's Wednesday night through Thursday. So Wednesday, we'll notice the clouds increasing. It will be a mainly cloudy day. And then later in the day, Wednesday, we'll likely kick off with an isolated shower and then switch over to wet snow Wednesday night. That will carry through Thursday. I'm sorry. Yep, that's what's in the forecast, though. So 13 degrees is our high tomorrow. In the afternoon, there is the chance of a good amount of cloud cover and looking at gusts around 50 kilometers per hour. On Wednesday, mainly cloudy. Only a daytime high of 5. Later in the day, closer to the supper hours, a chance of a sprinkle, and then wet snow Wednesday night through Thursday, 2 to 4 centimeters expected. Check out that daytime high on Thursday, -2. So we are looking at quite a cool down. So don't put that winter coat away just yet. You're going to need it for Thursday, but then we rebound quick. And in fact, by the weekend, we'll kick it off in the double digits. By Sunday, we'll get into the teens, and then it looks like it will be warm for all of next week.
Thank you very much, Danielle. Compost made from Green Cart Collection is made available to Calgarians for free to use in yards and gardens every year, but you'll have to wait to get it. The free giveaway opened today and is already fully booked all the way to May 2nd. You now have to wait until April 28th to book a pickup at the Shepherd landfill in the south or the Spy Hill landfill in the north. There's a limit of 100 liters per household, and you must bring your own containers. The nutrient-dense compost is very popular.
I'm an avid gardener, but I'm lazy. They do it for me. So yeah, once a year we come out and we fill up our buckets and we mix it in with our garden and we mix it in with our soil and enriches the soil. It's great stuff.
The second set of appointments will run from May 4th to 16th. Booking for a third opportunity will open May 12th and run from May 18th to 30th. The Calgary Hitmen tried to claw their way back into their playoff battle with the Medicine Hat tonight. Coming up, highlights from Game 3 at the Saddledome. The Calgary Hitmen hosted the Medicine Hat Tigers tonight in Game 3 of the WHL Eastern Conference semifinal. The Tigers had a 2-0 lead in the series.
A walk the middle up near the blue line over to the left side of the ice now. Wrist shot, scores!
Ethan Moore deflects a shot to get the Hitmen on the board first in tonight's game. That goal came on the power play. But the Tigers respond a few seconds later. Liam Rook fires a shot past Eric 2 to make it 1-1. Calgary takes the lead again later in the first period. Wyatt Pisarchuk fires a long shot, and it's 2-1 Hitmen. But the Tigers score 2 in the second and 2 more in the third to win 5-2. They now lead the series 3-0. Game 4 is at the Saddledome Wednesday night. April 29th is going to be a big day for a Calgary golf professional. That's when Tiffany Gordon takes over as president of the PGA of Canada. Glenn Campbell reports.
Tiffany Gordon is a PGA Canada professional. She's worked in the golf industry for 35 years. Right now, she serves as Director of Culture at Carmody Golf Club. At the end of the month, she'll add President of the PGA of Canada to her resume.
The PGA of Canada means a lot to me. I mean, it's been something that's been kind of ingrained in me all along. This is just next step. Never thought really at this stage in my career that I'd be just ramping up again, but it's exciting, and I just have such passion for the industry.
The PGA of Canada has been around since 1911. On April 29th, history will be made. Gordon will become the first woman to serve as the organization's president. It's a role she's ready for.
It's a journey. I'm having a blast, but I'm learning so much. I'm learning so much about our members across this country. I'm getting to meet just some amazing people, and just the mentorship that takes place in our association is so strong, and to see where we're going right now is just fantastic.
Bryce Halverson is the head professional at Carmody. He says Gordon definitely deserves this.
And a great ambassador for the game of golf. As you've seen, so much has been put into women getting into the game of golf. And Tiffany's been an extremely important ambassador for ladies golf, not only obviously at Carmody, but also throughout Canada and Alberta. So we couldn't be more proud of her, and I think she'll do an excellent job.
Gordon says she wouldn't be able to do this without the support of the golf club. And even though she's soon to be the president of the PGA of Canada, she'll still be working at Carmody and helping shape the future of the golf club.
We've been planning, right? And the support that the membership and the board and this club has had for me is unbelievable, which has allowed me that opportunity to really, pursue a passion and a goal that I've always wanted.
Glenn Campbell, CTV Sports, Calgary.
In her new role, Gordon will get to go to all of the majors. She says she looks forward to gaining knowledge from so many people in the industry. Thank you very much for joining us on this Monday night. Have a pleasant rest of the evening. We'll see you tomorrow.